another video for the B-Test training series, and this one is part of the boots and bits section, but we're just going to look at boots in this video. So the main thing is what boots you might use for what different things, why you use them, and fitting them. So first we're going to have a look at some brushing boots. So these are kind of your everyday exercise boots, your turnout boots, that type of thing. Loads of different brands. They've got this bit on the inside, so as the name suggests, brushing, it protects the inside of their legs. These are good because they're breathable. And yeah, so obviously you put them on with the straps facing backwards. And that. Now we can have a look at the fit of these boots from both sides. So I would say these boots are too big for him. They're quite high up here. They're going to get in the way of his knee. It's going to pinch back here if I lift up his foot. You can see the wrinkles here. So that's going to be uncomfortable for him. Good boy. That is also quite low down here. That's not as bad, but again, it's not going to be the most comfortable for him in front. So these I'd say are a bit too big for him. I'm going to try them on the back legs, because I'd say they're probably the right size for his back legs. So yeah, I'd say those are right for his back legs. It doesn't pinch anywhere, you can see that. It's about the right length. It's protecting the inside of his leg, but it's not getting in the way of his movement. So brushing boots are really good, like I said, for everyday work. You don't want to leave them on an excessive amount of time. And ideally you want brushing boots that have some kind of mesh or cooling mechanism so that your horse's tendons don't get too warm. Next we will have a quick look at some show jumping boots. Okay, so next we have some show jumping boots. So I use these Premier Acrome ones. The main point of show jumping boots are to protect the tendons. So it's a hard shell, protects the back of their legs. It's open at the front, and again it's got this mesh to help with airflow, leave it breathable. So these, again, so this bit protects their fetlock. Do up the front one first, and you want it tight enough that it's not going to slip, but not so tight that it's uncomfortable. So these are about right for him. They're possibly a little bit too big, because it's soft up here, it doesn't matter too much. Good boy. But as you can see, yeah, it protects the back of the tendon, so if he jumps funny or lands funny and knocks into himself or knocks himself on a jump, it's not going to damage the tendon. The front's open. It's quite good for show jumping. You want them to be aware that they're not protected in front, because you don't want them slapping poles down with their front feet. Back show jumping boots are just like this. So it's quite small. The main point of them is to protect the inside of that fetlock here. So they just go on like this. Again, tight enough they won't slip, and it just protects that inside bit, again, so they don't knock or anything. And that is all they are. So these are quite nice fitting boots. They're also nice and smart because they're white, but very difficult to keep clean. So yeah, when you're looking for show jumping boots, think about protecting the tendons. And again, the breathability is really important. Next we'll have a quick look at cross-country boots. So these are the cross-country boots I use on him. Cross-country boots, again, they're slightly different design. So they are designed to protect all around. So they have protection at the back, the sides and the front, which is really important. They also, as you can see, they go a bit lower around the back of the fetlock and leave some space at the top. It's really important to have breathable cross-country boots because your horse is going to get very hot. You also don't want ones that are going to get really, really heavy when they get wet, because if you think you go through a water jump, if they get wet, they're going to be uncomfortable. So, same thing. Make sure it's nice, low down, so it's protecting him all round. If he hits a fence, it's going to be protecting him. If he knocks into himself, protects his tendons, so really good. And again, you can just check that they're the right height there. Good boy, he's a bit bored of this. Check that they go down far enough here. Good boy. Okay, so back boots now. It's the same theory with the back boots for cross country, so it's protection all round, protect down over the inside of the fetlock, tendons, everything, as ventilated as they can be. So these are a double ventilation style boot. That's how they're designed. And as you can see from the design, it cuts away on the outside but protects on the inside. So it's got that bit of protection that you have on the show jumping boot without obstructing them on this side. Good boy. And whenever you're putting on boots, you're better off putting them on too high and then moving them down than putting them on too low. Another reason it's really important for your boots to fit is so that they don't slip. It's quite dangerous if they slip going while you're out competing. So as you can see from these boots, they go quite high on the inside. And that's to protect all of that area when they're galloping, and they go low down here as well, but there's not much restriction on the outside, so they're less likely to hit anything on the outside. And again, when you're testing, you just want to make sure they have full movement, which he does. Good boy. Good boy. And then the final boot you might want to think of, so we've done brushing boots, you can do good for dressage, show jumping boots, cross country boots. Then the kind of base boot is the overreach boot. So these are obviously for horses that tend to overreach, might pull a shoe off. I think they're quite good to have on all horses, because all horses, if they're working really well, hopefully we'll be over-tracking a little bit. That increases the risk of them stepping on themselves. So we've got different types of overreach boot, like rubber ones, material ones, sorry, they're a bit dirty. There are loads of different versions these days. And the fit of overreach boots is vital for safety. So we'll put these ones on first. Again, sorry about the dirt. These ones have a knobble at the back to stop them slipping around, and also the fluff to stop the rubbing. So these go on like that. And I would say, for me, for the purpose of what I'd be wanting, they'd be just right. If you see at the back of the overreach, it goes down all the way to the floor, so he wouldn't be able to stand on his own shoe, but it's not obstructive in the front. So that's quite a good overreach boot for him. This overreach boot we'll have a look at. So you can immediately see that's much bigger, and although it looks more protective, it's going to be too big on him. And when he lifts up his leg, that's actually hanging down under here, and there is a risk of him standing on just the overreach boot, which will then trip him up and be a danger. It's also going to rub a bit because it's going to rub up and down as he gallops, which isn't going to be comfortable. So overreach boots, the safety, the fitting of that is vital for the safety. So as I said, if they are too big, they can trip themselves up. If they're too small, then they can overreach. So those are the main sets of boots you want to think about, and the different fittings. Again, the most important thing is they fit well so that they don't rub, they aren't uncomfortable for the horse, and the boots are primarily for the horse's safety. So whether that's protection of the tendons, the bone, or just general support, it's important to think about why you're using the boot that you're using. So have a think about that. Hope this has been helpful. See you next time. Bye.